Hey everybody, this is Callaway Talks. We are back with the King, Mr. Arnold Palmer. Does that make you feel weird when I call you the King right here?
Well, I usually object to that, but since it's Callaway, I'll let it go this time.
Okay, I apologize for that. It's the King, Mr. Palmer. I got to ask you this because you are sort of the patron saint of club junkies and club tinkerers all across the world in golf. When you first saw the very first Big Bertha, 20 plus years ago, what do you remember thinking when you first saw that club? Because it was so different from anything anybody had.
Well, it was very much what I had in mind as far as the driver was concerned, and it's something that I had worked on along with other clubs. So it was not far from what I was looking for.
So bigger, more forgiving, obviously longer, and for most people it helped them hit the ball higher back in the day. We talked a little while ago about that was something that you were always looking for, is to hit the ball a little higher off the tee.
Right, and eventually I got there.
So now we have the new Big Bertha, which is out, came out this year, and one of the things that we always thought about Big Bertha was it really signaled new performance and sort of game-changing technology in golf. Is that kind of what you think about when you think of Big Bertha? Not the new one necessarily, but just Big Bertha?
Well, I had all kinds of thoughts about how the Big Bertha should look, or my driver should look, as a matter of fact, and I'm applying it even today. I work with the clubs, and in the old days, we were talking about wood, and those rasps that they made worked pretty good on wood. I have trouble getting those rasps to peel down that titanium on the Big Bertha today, and I'm having fun, but it's important, and it's important to make that club look the way the Big Bertha does, and it's shaped right. It's got a good shape, and there's more detail to it than anybody knows. So I understand what is happening, and we'll see more of it.
How many clubs at any general time, how many drivers are in sort of your starting lineup at any given time right now?
Oh, my goodness. Why don't we get to the next subject?
I know for a fact that we've sent Mr. Palmer. He normally has 4 or 5. It's kind of like a basketball team. You got to have your 4 or 5 starters there that you're working at any time. Back when you were playing championship golf and winning the tournaments, were you a player that had a lot of drivers in the bag? Not in the bag while you're playing, obviously, but that you would consider from tournament to tournament?
I always had a couple drivers, yes, with various shapes, and I made them look the way I wanted them to look, which is something that I'm seeing today in the Callaway Club. The shape is so good that I'm happy that I can't change it as much as I once did. It works better.
So when you had a few different clubs in mind, would they perform differently for you, or would they perform the same? It just depended on what kind of swing you were putting on it during that time.
Well, I think the shape and the performance of the club is very important, and to get to that technology is something that is very, very important.
And now, of course, the players have changed so much too, probably somewhat, obviously, in terms of the modern player, but the technology has also changed somewhat the way that the players play the game. We're here at your tournament. You're probably seeing players play the golf course a lot differently than they did 10, 15 years ago.
Well, one of the things that is so important is that they can play the way they have to play to do it justice, and to play the golf course into the right position. Something I was talking about with Augusta, and getting the ball in the right position to make the shots into the green.
And will you set that up as you think of the evolution here at Bay Hill? Do you think about that as well, about trying to challenge the players to not only think about rearing back and hitting it as far as they can, but to make them really think on every shot?
That's what we do. That's the way the golf course is set up.
So that's really one of the reasons I think, obviously, the golf course, the conditions, and then you it's got to be an honor and make you feel good when all the players want to come here to play in your tournament to see you and play on your golf course.
Thank you.
I'll get to play it this week, which I'm excited about. So I'm sure that we're consciously thinking of my play as you're out there on the golf course, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
As an amateur, I mean, I meant that as a joke.
Well, I hope we set it up the way you like it.
Yeah, as an amateur, that's got well, and I'll send the comment card, Mr. Palmer. I know that you'll be interested, but just from a design philosophy too, though, because you hold the tournament here a week out of the year, and then the other 51 weeks, the membership has to play the golf course. So it's a delicate balance, isn't it?
The good news is they like to play it, and the golf course will be the best this year it's ever been.
Well, we look forward to that. Thanks again for being on the show. Congratulations on, we were just walking outside taking a look at 18 there. Courses never look better. I know you've got to be proud of what's happened here, just and in with this tournament and how much importance this now is on the tour schedule. It's one of the biggest ones everybody talks about.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks again for being on the show, and hope we'll get you back on the show sometime.
Oh, yeah. We'll
Great.
do that.
Thank you, Mr.
Very
Palmer.
good.
Thank you.